Thank you, everyone, for coming today, taking the time out of your day to listen to what I have to say. My name is David Kelly. I'm with WhatRunsWhere. Is everybody familiar with WhatRunsWhere, what we do? Show of hands, maybe? Yeah? Perfect, thank you. So we provide competitive intelligence for mobile, display, native. And essentially what that means is we have our technology, we have crawlers that hit the web. We hit about 150,000 websites multiple times a day. We understand where people are advertising, where they're buying the traffic from, what those ads look like, and then what those landing pages look like. So we really give you perspective on what's happening out there. You can uncover your competitor strategies. You can discover new traffic sources. We like to think of it as a optimization tool for media buyers and a discovery tool for everybody else. So if you do have questions about the tool later, let me know. Happy to answer them. Love to get started with the presentation. Perfect. So as I mentioned, I'm David Kelly. Since 2012, I've been instrumental in the early growth of developing WhatRunsWhere. Not long ago, we were only 3 people, and over the last couple of years, we've actually grown to about 25 now. So it's been interesting. We have a marketing department that gets to build fancy presentations for me and comes up with great taglines. If you do want to tweet out WhatRunsWhere. So just so they know that I'm doing a good job. Perfect. So today, what we're going to be talking about is native advertising, discussing how you can leverage competitive intelligence data to run better native campaigns, regardless of the niche that you're in. So we'll start by briefly defining what native advertising is to make sure everyone is familiar. And then we'll talk about the opportunities that currently exist in native advertising landscape for advertisers and publishers alike. But what we'll focus on, or more specifically, is the content discovery networks. So those are the CDNs they're referred to. It's the Taboola, the Outbrain. And we'll look at a few case studies to demonstrate why competitive intelligence data can be critical to the success when it comes to native advertising. Perfect. So just a quick definition, what is native advertising? I mean, native advertising is one of those buzzwords that we're hearing a lot about lately, and I'm sure you've all seen, heard, or perhaps even seen some of the native ads running. You might have even run the campaigns yourself. The long-standing practice of traditional advertising is to make ads pop. You want them to stand out, draw attention to the reader by pulling them in or distracting them from what's going on any given web page. But when it comes to native, it's actually, the tradition is forsaken. So by its very nature, native advertising is different. In saying that, it is in a plethora of forms. Native ads ultimately promote the brand within the editorial layout of that publisher on which it appears in a highly congruent manner so that it fits with the content and the framework. Essentially, with native advertising, what you're trying to do is weave that ad or that information into the content. So you want it to be seamless. You don't want people to think, oh my God, there's an ad. Forget it. You want people to think, oh, that's an interesting article, or what's that doing there? So that's kind of native advertising. That's the real premise of it. Resume slideshow. Sorry. Perfect. So native advertising, it's founded on 3 main principles. The first being seamless ad integration. So where ads are effectively integrated into the very design, like I mentioned, so that its form and function fits the contextual context of the publisher. The second would be that it's aligned advertiser and publisher objectives. So that's where the goals of the participating parties is to deliver high value, relevant, and often educational content to readers and consumers. And then further, overt ad transparency. So that's where native ads are explicitly labeled as ads or sponsored content. So a lot of times when you're on the Huffington Post, you're going to see at the bottom of the page where it says sponsored listing. So that makes it very clear what the transparency and what the intentions are. So why all the hype? Well, native advertising is one of the fastest growing ad channels in digital media. Native ad spending for 2015 alone is forecasted to reach $4.3 billion. And that's only growing. By 2018, this number will more than likely double to $9.4 billion. And there exists, an abundance of opportunities for advertisers and publishers alike. So why is it garnering so much ad spend? Well, 70% of individuals want to learn more about products through content rather than through traditional advertising. and 32% of consumers said they would share a native ad